Hey guys, welcome to Light Paves Way. I'm Shez. So we're going to get angel number messages for air signs. This week I have done things a little bit differently. I've separated them into element groups. So there's like 4 videos out there today. So this is the last one of the day. This is for air signs. Please check your other placements for Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node, because there may be messages there for you also. So these messages can be a little bit specific, so yeah, please check your other placements. Now, let's see. I'm getting that with the air signs, whether it's just one of you or all of you, there's you're taking back your shadow. There's an integration, there's an accepting and of the shadow, an integration. You know, you're integrating it. There's shadow work going on. Gemini, you're at first. Yeah, so air signs, whether, like I said, whether it's just one of you, or all of you, there's shadow work going on. So let's see. As you know, we roll the dice, we read the angel number, and then I pull tarot on why that message has come up for you today. So let's see, Gemini. Oh, don't rush me, Gemini. 9. 1. 4. 914, Gemini. Make space in your day to dive deep within and invite your angels to come close to you. They are standing by, ready to support you on your journey and in your spiritual development. Ooh, Gemini. Looks like you'll be doing some shadow work. Yeah, there's like I'm just looking at these lights here. It's a spectrum. So, you know, some of you are right at the beginning stages of, you know, awakening to your shadow self. Others, you know, you're at the other end, you know, you've accepted it and you've integrated it and you know how to, you know, work with your shadow. But Gemini, you're taking a deep dive within. You're going within, Gemini. (914) for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node. 914 for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node. Nine of Swords reverse. 9 of Wands. 9 could be significant to you, but some of you you're going through a period of recovery, resting, healing. Some of you could have been through a period of extreme torment, whether that is from other people or whether that is just your own thoughts placing you in, you know, a place of anxiety, a place of fear. But despite this this torment, this anxiety, you've still continued to, you know, do those day-to-day tasks. Some of you have literally, you've put a wall up. You've put a wall up, and I think now you're going within to, you know, realize why have you put that wall up? Why are you so fearful, you know, of allowing someone in? Why are your boundaries so strong? Because some of you are coming to the realization that, you know, you don't need to have such a high boundary. I'm hearing made of steel. Made of steel. Yeah, no one's getting through steel, are they? Yeah. The 5 of Swords reversed. Some of you think that yeah, you think that this boundary that you put, there's a justifiable reason for that. The 5 of Swords, when it's in the upright, it's you know, about abusive relationships, theft, violence, bullies, you know, and you know, you're looking with the 9 and the Swords, the 9 and the Swords, the 9 and the 5 of Swords. You've then got the 4 of Swords. You know, you've always been on the go. There's been this anxiety, this restlessness, and you're burnt out. You're burnt out. You're literally burnt out. So now it's time to, you know, find that peace. Find that peace within. Taking time to rest and recover. I'm really looking at why you built a wall of steel around you that nobody can get through. Nobody. And some of you, it has to do with abusive relationships. We have the Magician in the reverse. Yeah, some of you, your energy is really scattered. You're unable to manifest. You don't feel fulfilled at the minute. You literally feel like you're wasting away. That you're wasting resources, you know. You're realizing the more you put these walls up, it's like you're doing things, you're going out of your way you're going out of your way to avoid people and or avoid a situation. And this, I don't know why, but I'm getting this is it's costly. Whether it's, you know, it's costly to your peace, costly to your energy or finances. It's costly. And now you're experiencing burnout. Realizing, you know, you're wasting all this energy, time, resources on building a wall of steel. And some of you, you're in a position now where you don't need to have a wall so high. We have the Ten of Cups reversed. This could be to do with family, relationships with family, possibly a broken relationship, a broken marriage, but it's really unhappy. You're really unhappy. Some of you have built a wall up. You've built this steel wall up. I'm getting some of you can't have children, and some of you really do want to have a family of your own, to have children, but unfortunately you're unable to have them, and I'm really sorry if that's you. But yeah, this has made you build up this wall around you. You're making it. You're putting on this mask that you're okay with the fact that, you know, you don't want children, or you can't, you know, that you're okay with like not having them. But deep down, it's hurting you. It's hurting you. Some of you, if you go out for the day, you literally try and avoid walking past play areas, walking past school, because the wounds run that deep, because your desire to have a family is so strong. The desire to feel, you know, that Empress energy of like being pregnant and birthing, it's really, really strong. And some of you are, you know, you're having to face that, to face the reality that you have worn a mask, and you have, you know, been pretending to those around you that it's okay, when really deep down you're struggling with the fact that you can't have that. Others, this is just about, you know, some of you have been in abusive relationships, or you've come from, you know, an abusive family, and those childhood wounds are still, you know, you haven't healed from them. You've just literally put on a mask, built a wall, and you know, it's time for that wall to come down. It's time to deal with those wounds. Yeah, the Star reversed. Yeah. Some of you, the reality that the fact that For those where this is, you know, you're unable to have children, the reality of the fact that you know, you can't have children, and realizing and how much you're missing out, admitting, my throat's going, admitting to yourself and others how much that hurts you, you know, is really hard. You know, some of you, this could be affecting your mental health more than you realize. Some of you, you know, are needing to express how much it's affecting you. You're struggling with communicating that. For those that, as well, for those that have dealt with abusive relationships, whether it's family or past partners, realizing, you know, how much that has affected you. We have the Three of Pentacles, you know, and the Empress. Some of you are, you know, needing to seek out people that are going to be there to support you, you know. For those that are dealing with fertility issues, you know, some of you will be looking to adopt, to foster, possibly surrogacy, I can't say it, you know what I mean. Yeah, some of you will be looking at other options to, you know, start a family once you've been able to communicate, you know. And for some of you, it may take a while for you to admit. I think you've admitted it to yourself. It's now communicating that with others. For those that have dealt with abusive relationships, this is having people around you to support you, seeking out therapists and, you know, working together, if like if you're in a relationship now and you've built this wall and you're not letting your partner in because your walls are so high because of past relationships, you know, you'll be starting to, you know, to communicate, to work as a team, probably even go into couples therapy, so you can create, you know, that loving relationship. Yeah, because at the moment we've got the Two of Cups reversed. You know, there's that, you know, there's arguments. You may seem disinterested at the moment because you're really struggling. You're really struggling, but you're awakening to why you seem disinterested. We've got the Lovers underneath the deck. So this is a choice, you know, to strengthen that bond, to strengthen the relationship. Making that choice to seek out, you know, help from others to receive that support. Anything else? Yeah, the Five of Cups reverse. Yeah, you're making that choice now with the 2 to the 5. That's the 7. You know, the illusion's been broken. You're seeing clearly of why you've put that wall up. You know, hope is returning. Hope is returning. And you're in a place of recovery now, able to move on from, you know, all this past hurt. Death reversed. Yeah, you're able to move on from this stagnant place, you know, that's kept you stuck. Releasing the negativity of the past, these toxic behaviors, these, you know, behaviors that you've carried with you because you've not been able to face, you know, the wounds, the pain of the past, and you've put this wall up. I'm going to leave that there, Gemini. But yeah, all I'm going to say is communicate that, you know, it is hard to, you know, communicate how we're truly feeling, even if we've admitted it to ourselves. To admit that to another person is extremely difficult, but once we have, you know, we're able to, you know, bring in extra support from others, and we're able then to plan and prepare for the future. So it's yeah, some of you really do need to communicate. I'm going to leave that there. That was very deep, but it's for someone. Gemini. Who's next? Libra. Oh. Libra. Free. Zero. 5. 305. Libra. I'm very particular at the minute, Libra. Very, I don't know. You need things in particular places. Everything has just, it's got to be just so. Okay. Right, 305 for Libra. Face your challenges so that you can make changes rather than have changes presented to you. Unite with honesty and integrity. Oh, so Libra, I can feel some control, especially as it's everything has to be just so. Yeah, so Libra, you're in a controlling energy, or possibly this is someone around you. Take it how it resonates, but everything just has to be just so. I can see someone just like, the dishwasher has to be, you know, everything's got its place. It has to be perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm seeing someone, their wardrobe is colour coordinated. So you've literally, it goes white, grey, beige, and it goes from light to darker. A little bit OCD. I am not a doctor, so I can't give you any medical advice, but that's how it seems. Very particular. Right, 305 for Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node. 8 of Swords reverse. I thought there was something underneath that then. So the 8 of Swords reverse, there's a release here, clarity, you know, escape, this freedom. Four of Cups reversed. Yeah, you've got a new outlook now. You've released yourself from something, and you've got a new sense of freedom, a new look on life. You know, some of you have some new options available to you. I'm just looking at the 8 of Swords here. Like I said, taken off a mask. Whether you've released yourself, you know, you've taken off your own mask and you've accepted something about yourself. It's allowed you to become free, or whether you've, you know, escaped from someone else. Whoa. Whether you've escaped someone else and, you know, you're finally free from their controlling ways. Let's see. Eight of Cups. 8 could be significant. Yeah, you feel at home now. You do. I think this is more about self. You feel at home. You've released yourself. You've accepted something about yourself. You've taken off the mask, and because you've, you know, accepted something about yourself, you're feeling at home. You're feeling at home in your own skin. The Knight of Swords was the one that fell on the floor. I'm not going to take it because I didn't see which way it went. But yeah, I'm feeling some of you feel more at home in your own skin, in your own body, in your own mind, because you've taken off the mask. You've accepted something about yourself, and it's opened up a world full of options. You've freed yourself. It's opened up doors. It's opened up opportunities. You're no longer lying to yourself. Yeah, Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups. So this is a new beginning. Self-love. This could be a new relationship, a proposal. It's a new emotional beginning. And I'm feeling this is a self-love because you've taken off your mask. You know, you've released yourself. You know, you've been confined of what society expected you to be, but you wasn't that. And you've released yourself from the confinements of what others expected of you, and you found this, you know, this sense, this new path of self-love. Yeah, we have the Queen of Wands reversed. you could have come across, because you was confined, you wasn't able to be yourself, you could have come across as being cold, aggressive, you know, you didn't really, you know, care about others and their feelings. But some of you could have released yourself from someone that was cold towards you, a little bit witchy. Take it how it resonates. It could be, you know, someone else, or it could be yourself that we're talking about here. Yeah, the sun. The sun. Yeah, you've got new options, a new outlook at life, and it's bringing you, it's pure happiness since releasing yourself from either a queen of selves, oh my goodness, a queen of wands, or, you know, your own self. Accepting who you are. My thoughts are running faster than my mouth here. Yeah, Page of Pentacles, reverse. Yeah. People have always expected, you know, you to return. They may have always seen you as, you know, someone who's immature, someone that, you know, can't cope on their own. They could have seen you as a failure. But I think since removing this mask, having all these options open to you, you know, pouring all that love into yourself, you know, you're shocking a lot of people. You are shocking a lot of people here. People didn't think much of you. This Queen of Wands that was very, if this is a relationship that you've released yourself from, this Queen of Wands was very controlling. She could have controlled the finances. She controlled every aspect of, you know, of your life. She could have seen you as weak. This is a person that got you into debt. Yeah, the Ten of Cups reversed. Yeah. This is, you wasn't happy. You wasn't happy in this situation with a Queen of Wands. And again, if this is, you know, with yourself, you've had to leave a situation, you know, you've had to accept who you are and, you know, release, let it go, because it wasn't making you happy. But now you've took off the mask, you know, pouring that self-love into yourself, that, you know, that cup of love into yourself. Everything, you're having a lot of success, because the Ace taken from the 10 is the 9. You've got wishes coming true, material abundance, good health, all because you're pouring all this love into yourself. The Page of Swords. Yeah, there could be a lot of gossip, a lot of lies being spread about you, or there has been in the past. But this is also, you know, indicative of you lying to yourself, not loving yourself, being abusive to yourself by, you know, that negative self-talk. That is way too many, but we'll have a look. Yeah, the Two of Wands here. You know, you've made a choice. You've made a choice to move on from this, you know, negative self-talk. You know, you're looking forward to the future. You know, you've got so many options, you know, open to you now. And if you see, he's got his hand on his heart. You've really been healing self, you know, opening up that heart chakra. Yeah, we've got the King of Pentacles reversed with the Knight of Swords underneath the deck. So, you know, in the past, the way you communicated with others and with yourself, you know, it wasn't very stable. It wasn't very kind. And, you know, you could have said that you was going to do something, but you never followed through. But now that you've, you know, you've accepted your shadow, accepted, you know, your flaws, and I'm sure a card has just fell on the floor. It did. Yeah, now you've accepted your flaws and stuff like that and integrated them. You know, the world is your oyster. Yeah, the Empress reverse. Some of you are realizing that, you know, this mask that you wore, this and stuff, you wore it because you was never taught, you know, how to love yourself. You know, you was just told to get on with things. You possibly could have come from an era where, you know, it's very traditional. Men went out to work, women were in the kitchen cooking, that sort of era. You know, children, you know, who could only speak when they were spoken to. And the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, but I think some of you now, since releasing your own mask, accepting, you know, who you are, you've been able to forgive the past, forgive your mother, your father, and some of you are just really embracing life, and you know, you're finding out how resourceful you are, how much stability. Some of you in the past, because you've hidden yourself and you was unstable, you know, you had to fit in with those around you because you couldn't, you know, you were scared of showing who you actually were. Some of you, again, you could, just like Gemini, you could have been wasting a lot of money to fit in with those around you because you had to wear a mask. Since removing the mask, accepting who you are, you're realizing, you know, money is just, you know, you're accumulating money, good fortune. It's just, you know, stacking up because you're not going out wasting money pretend to be someone who that you're not, just to keep up with your peers. I'm going to leave that there, Libra. But yeah, you've really taken off the mask here and you've really accepted. This is beautiful. It really is. It really is. So I'm going to leave that there. And last one is Aquarius. Aquarius, you don't want to be seen. You don't want to be seen, Aquarius. You're hiding. You're hiding. Seven. Two. One. 721 Aquarius. And it's just tried flicking over to the 9. Yeah, you want this to be over with. 9 is very close to endings. Yeah, you're ready for this to be over with. You don't want to be seen. Okay. I'll try and get through this as quickly as possible, Aqua. 721. Yeah, there's a feeling that you feel uncomfortable. You're establishing your personal relationship with the universe at this time. Previously, you may have felt disconnected from the divine, but now you really know that you are loved. Okay. Seven, 2, 1 for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node. 721 for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and North Node. Some of you feel closed in, you feel boxed off. You want it to be over with. You want to, you want to get out. You want to be released. Okay. Feel the divine has got you grounded. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but yeah, some of you you've been told to sit. You've been told to sit. The divine, the universe has grounded you for a little while. And you don't like it. You want it to be over with. You wanna go. You wanna leave. Okay. Yeah. Ace of Wands. You've got things to do. You've got the Chariot. It's like you want to just move. You want to move. You've got things to do. You've got things to do here. Yeah, you want to take action here on something. You want to, you've got the urge to create, but, the divine has sat you down. Some of you, you felt, some of you was either knocked off your path in some sort of way, or you wandered off your path. Okay. And you felt like the divine had given up on you, and that's why they forced you to sit down, to realise, that you was knocked off your path, or you wandered away from your path in some sort of way. There is a diversion here. Okay. 9 of Swords. Yeah. Some of you may not have trusted on... Yeah, you may not have trusted something. And then the Magician. Some of you didn't trust that, trust in the divine, trust that the path that you was on was the right path. So you may have just diverted a little bit. Some of you don't trust that, you know, whatever it is that you're manifesting is coming to be. The Three of Wands here. Yeah, some of you have really needed, you know, to plan. Some of you have really needed to sit down, you know, and, you know, just really prepare. Yeah, you've been told to sit and wait, because the divine, you've had to go within. You've had to go within. You've been sat waiting. Some of you have literally, you know, been sat in your house. You've been in hermit mode, and the divine has put you in that because you've not trusted. The divine, you've not been trusting in your own, you know, creativity, your own spiritual gift, your own intuition, your own path. And the divine has literally sat you down. You've had to sit down and, you know, go within to find out why it is you don't trust. Why you're not trusting your own intuition. Some of you were literally diverted from your path by other people, and, you know, there may have been some other people that, you know, were making you feel as if, you know, what it is you was, where you was heading, what it is you was thinking and feeling, that, you know, that wasn't right. So they've literally, you know, diverted you. They've knocked you off your path. But some of you now are coming to the realization that, you know, you was right all along. You was right all along. Some of you are manifesting to move. You know, you're manifesting a new home. You know, where it is, you know, you don't feel safe where you are at the moment. It's causing a lot of anxiety, sleepless nights. So some of you are, you know, are manifesting a new home, and it will be, you know, at a distance to where you're living now. We have the Ten of Cups reversed. Yes, some of you are really, really unhappy where you're living. You don't feel safe. The Page of Swords reversed. Yeah, this is could be a lot of gossip, a lot of slander. Where you are, it just feels very toxic. Yeah, the Seven of Pentacles reversed. No, it's not reversed, it's on the upright. I do apologize. So yeah, some of you are just ready. You're ready to leave. You're ready to take off. You want this new beginning now. With the Seven of Pentacles, also with the Chariot, you're ready to move. You know, you feel like you've just been in this waiting period, waiting. But, you know, some of you, you just want to go now. You want that new beginning. Yeah, we have the King of Cups. You could have someone around you, possibly a father figure, but someone that, you know, is very compassionate, has a lot of empathy towards others, that is going to support you in moving. Whether this is just moving on, you know, on your spiritual path, just moving forward, or whether this is an actual physical move. The Six of Pentacles reversed. Yeah. Yeah, some of you, where, you know, where you're living now, it's not very, it doesn't serve you anymore. It doesn't, you feel very stagnant. Some of you have to leave some people behind. You do. These people, this mindset, you have to leave it behind. Some of you are leaving, you know, the place that you live in. You're moving locations. You're ready to go. Some of you are literally, if you do move, if this is a physical move, I don't feel you'll be telling people. You just, you know, you're just going to quietly go in the night. You're going to be, it's I'm hearing moonlight flirt. So some of you will be moving in the middle of the night. You're not going to be telling anyone. Yeah, some of you could be leaving an abusive situation. Yeah, and the fact that you're keeping it quiet is because you don't want this abusive person, you know, to retaliate, to try and stop you. Four of Swords. Some of you, yeah, with the Four of Swords, if this is a relationship that you are leaving, you are not telling. Some of you are literally moving in the middle of the night. Some of you at the moment, you know, you're just waiting and planning for your move, to make your move. You're just sitting there waiting. You're resting and recovering, and you're waiting for the go-ahead from Spirit. You're waiting for a sign to say, it's, you know, it's time to go. It's time to move. With the Moon reverse, you know, some sort, yeah, you're waiting for that clarity. You're waiting for that truth. Some of you could be meditating, getting messages in your dreams. But yeah, you're ready to go. You're ready. This situation that you're in at the minute, it's not working for you. You're ready to go. For some of you, that where this is a mindset, you know, where you've lost trust in the divine, Spirit has sat you down, the universe has sat you down, you know, to find out why you don't trust, what it is that's making you, you know, not trust. And you're gaining clarity, you're working through those traumas, and you're just waiting now, you know, for that new opportunity to, you know, move forward. Others, you know, you're strategizing on how you can move away from an area or a relationship that's very toxic and very abusive. I'm going to leave that there for you, Aquarius. And if this message was for you, hit the like button. If it didn't resonate, check your other placements, your moon, your rising and your north node, because there could be something in there for you. And I will see you all again soon. Bye.